Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MBA Karo. So now we are going to discuss like what happened in MICAT 2 and probably some of the questions which I was able to attempt, or like you can contribute to it, telling that what were the answers that you got to the respective questions. Okay, so first do let me know that what was the number of attempts, how many did you attempt, and how did you find the examination? Some of you must have written it for the very first time, and some of you must have appeared on MyCat 1 as well as MyCat 2. So, उसके comparison में क्या था? What is your take on it? So, do let me know in the comments because I felt personally, since I wrote on both occasions, MyCat 1 was slightly easier in the sense that quant ठीक है was similar. Yeah, the divergent and convergent thinking, what you call reasoning, was on different lines the previous time. पिछली बार जो divergent convergent में था series and all, those were very easy. This time series, coding, decoding, they were all tricky. Although questions like syllogism, blood relations, etc. were easy this time. So do let me know that how many questions you attempted and what are you expecting कि कितना score आना चाहिए. And this is the pattern which you already know that for 150 questions in psychometric, descriptive test 4 questions, aptitude test, and total of 135 minutes. Okay, so now let's see this how it went. First thing is psychometric test 150 questions. 117 is the number of questions which were odd in all options. Like वैसे ही रहता है हर बार. Psychometric, they have a fixed set of 150 questions. Those who attempted paper 1 must have also noticed the questions were the same. ठीक है, वही जो last time होंगे same question, same to same वही questions होते हैं. Okay, it is like there is no definite way to clear the exam. This part, it gets cleared provided your answers are consistent in nature. Okay, so uh, let's now see this. Now some of you must have a query key, like how many questions should you have attempted. Okay, so कितने लोगों ने like told, they say that you have to attempt all the questions. Yeah, you are expected to attempt, but even if you attempt, let's say कुछ लोग नहीं कर पाते हैं, even if you have attempted a significant number, let's say 130 140 आपने attempt किया है, so disqualification नहीं होना चाहिए ideally. ओके, सो लाइक अगर 130 140 प्लस 130 भी अगर आप, आई बिलीव कि 130 ऑल्सो इफ यू हैव अटेम्प्टेड एटलीस्ट, दे चेक फॉर द कंसिस्टेंसी इन आंसर्स. ओके, सो 130 प्लस होगा तो दैट शुड बी कंसिडर्ड दैट यू शुड क्वालिफाई, बट आइडियली द टारगेट शुड बी टू अटेम्प्ट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. आसानी से हो जाता है इफ यू हैव स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम ऑन रीडिंग एंड देन ओवर थिंकिंग, देन प्रोबेबली यू वुड हैव लॉस्ट टाइम ऑन इट. अदरवाइज आई बिलीव कि ये इजीली अटेम्प्ट हो जाना चाहिए, नॉट अ बिग टास्क टू अटेम्प्ट this portion of the examination. Okay, now let's talk about the descriptive section. Descriptive में they give a topic. So this time negotiations require compromises, so perfectionists avoid it. This was the topic, and you had to write 3 points for, 3 points against, and 3 ways in which managers can balance their team with having negotiation and perfectionism. Now these 3 questions consist of 10, 10, 10 marks, and the story writing is of 30 marks. Okay, and out of this, like there was one green plant. Okay, sort of like it was maybe taken from a forest or some place. Okay, then there was a waffle on a plate and wooden stand. I don't know if it was mats or it was some other thing. They were like, first initially it looked like an optical illusion to me, then I noticed that it was some like some mats or something, or however you perceive it. And then there were two men in front of a sea, One was wearing an orange shirt, another was green. Okay, they were talking something, and there was a sea and probably an oil refinery. Okay, that I could infer ki oil refinery ho sakti hai. It was looking like that, right? Some bridge, or it was not a complete bridge because those were not connected. So, however you perceive it, you had to write a story. Now, this consists of 30 marks, right? And I told you in a video yesterday that I mean, they say that 300 words per question, but that is not feasible because if you consider 300 into 4 divided by 25, that means 48 words per minute. Okay, it is something that is the speed of some good typist, and that too where they do not have to apply any of their brains. So I believe that it is not achievable. So even if your speed is 20-25 words per minute, so to all in all, like around 500 to 600 words. So even if you write 100 plus around 100 words or more in these three questions, plus 200 words plus story in this, that should be good enough, right? So attempt, you should have attempted all the questions. Now some of you have a query that should you write the order. Okay, even if you forgot writing the order, that is not a big deal. ठीक है. So लाइक कई इसमें होता है कि मेंशन द ऑर्डर. अगर ऑर्डर मेंशन नहीं भी किया दैट वर्क्स. सो डू नॉट वरी अबाउट इट कि ऑर्डर मेंशन करना भूल गया. ठीक है. सो that's not a very big problem, and they do consider for not for shortlisting, for the second stage they will consider. Okay, so shortlisting के लिए just psychometric, that's a qualifier, and then that aptitude test. For the later stage they consider it, so they read the text of only the people who are shortlisted for the next stage. Okay, so this is they mentioned that there is some cutoff which is not known. Okay, how do they mark it? That is completely unknown. So it's done and done. So just don't worry about it. Now let's talk about the aptitude section. Okay. Last time in MICAT 1, I found there were two RCs. This time there was just one RC, and it was on some innovation that government should uh, like implement policies of innovation, something like VC funding, कुछ मतलब startups and innovation से related कुछ था. There was one question on Elon Musk, and I did not read it completely. So it was something of that sort, and it had four questions. There were a couple of questions on error spotting. जिसमें एक phrase replace करना था, and you had to rearrange the sentence sort of thing. Okay, uh, like an underlined text जैसे GMAT में होता है, and one was rearrange the parts and you have to find the correct order. Then missing sentence वाला एक था. There were two parajumbles, one of five sentences, another was six sentences. Odd one out, two questions. Sentence pillars, there were four blanks. I found them, these were the doable questions. Okay, if you, although there were four blanks, in one, there were four match the following करके column दिए थे, ABCD column, right? So that these were doable provided you have decent vocabulary. Like जैसे उसमें था कि burning the midnight oil, last वाला जो एक था उसमें last में burning the midnight oil आएगा, and something like that. Okay, then there were three four questions on critical reasoning. What do you infer from this paragraph? Okay, or what can you conclude from this paragraph? That sort of one word substitution, easy questions they comparatively. Okay, and then there was one question on para summary also. So it was typical like cat type verbal ability. जैसे cat में आता है, ठीक है, just that कि critical reasoning additional था, separate, and RC, missing sentence, para jumble, para summary, etc. Those were covered in this. Now there were some doable questions like sentence fillers, one word substitution, okay, and your para jumble was tricky one. ठीक है, I attempted those para jumbles, did not find them easy to tackle, and then you had क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग. आपने अगर कोई पिक कर लिया होगा या एरर स्पॉटिंग ये सब कर लिया होगा, you could have managed a few questions. Now that depends on person to person, right? I did not spend much time on verbal. Someone must have done more of verbal ability. Okay, so didn't could not completely overview this section properly, because spent significant amount of time in the other sections. So yeah, if you found any thing like uh, in this verbal section which was doable, do let me know. I found that they were doable questions, and apart from that you could have picked some like paranumbers. I did spend some time, I found it tricky. Odd one out bhi thoda tricky lag raha tha, maybe uh, I did not spend enough time on it. Could have done if I had spent more time on it. Okay, so that was the this verbal ability section. Now talking about the quant and DI, this time there was a double pie chart. So कब एक बार मतलब एक DI होता है 4 क्वेश्चंस का डबल पाई चार्ट इट वाज डुएबल. ठीक है, अगर आप क्वांट की बात करें उसमें डुएबल था. अरिथमेटिक में देयर वर अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस, आई थिंक दैट सिंपल इंटरेस्ट एफडी वाला वो डुएबल था. व्हाट वाज द आंसर टू दिस? 6 lakhs एफडी वाला था. और then there were some questions on like geometry mensuration. If your geometry mensuration is good, you would have been able to attempt those questions. ठीक है, there were 2 questions on set theory. एक 3 set Venn diagram था, एक 4 set Venn diagram आया था, right? And इसका आंसर आई गेस 10% था, और इसका 1570 आया किसी का आंसर. Okay, so in this, it was about like algebra में mainly that AP GP based questions आए थे. इसमें दो जो AP GP के थे, दो were doable. Okay, 2 questions I found that they were doable. So all in all, in quant, it was about picking your strength. ठीक है, और definitely very lengthy, insane questions. ठीक है, ZAT में जैसे काफी lengthy question आते हैं. So basically, the thing is, it was about picking your forte, like whatever topic you are comfortable with. So if you are comfortable with geometry, you could have done that. Arithmetic में एक दो बहुत लेंदी से भी थे. Okay, and that's how you could have tackled this section. So no unnecessary step attempts. It should have been some strategic attempt कि हाँ मुझे quant में 5 क्वेश्चन करना है, because even if you have attempted 5 questions with accuracy, that is good enough. Okay, then divergent and convergent reasoning, there were 3 questions on word association. Yeah, there were 3 to 4 questions on coding decoding. Okay, coding decoding इस बार थोड़ा सा tricky आया था. Last time coding decoding easy था. Number based reasoning and coding decoding, these were tricky this time. There were a couple of questions on this visual reasoning. एक तो डाइस वाला आया था जिसमें डाइस फॉर्म करना था. So if you know how to make a dice, that was doable. Okay, and another one was one more, I think odd one out or something. That was in visual reasoning. Then arrangement questions, I think there was one floor, और एक और शायद लीनियर अरेंजमेंट था. Floor and some color or something like that was, or some city that was given. So it was not worth attempting the arrangement questions. As we did in the practice session also, I told you ki they will have single questions. Okay, pencil eraser I did not attempt, right? See, one cannot attempt all the questions, but हाँ अगर किसी ने attempt किया, they can answer in the comments. Okay, and there were questions syllogism. I think there were 2 questions. One was on something, one was either one or two. हाँ, फ्लोर वाला बहुत लेंथी था, लीनियर भी कुछ लेंथी था. सिलोजिज्म में एक ईदर वन और टू था कुछ. देयर वर सम क्वेश्चंस ऑन ब्लड रिलेशंस. ब्लड रिलेशंस वाज इजी, ये काफी इजी आए थे. एक बोथ वर कोडेड ब्लड रिलेशंस बाय द वे. देन डायरेक्शन बेस्ड वन क्वेश्चन था, आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट इट. इनइक्वालिटी का इजी क्वेश्चन आया था, ये डुएबल था, ये डुएबल था. Some like visual reasoning dice wala, if someone knows how to attempt, could have attempted. So all in all, this especially this coding decoding was quite challenging. Okay, so let's see that some of the answers and how you fared in that. Okay, so either one हाँ, इधर इधर 1 और 2 वाला था, एक सिस्टर्स। 225 नहीं होगा, 225 था पेंसिल। आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट दैट पेंसिल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन। जनरल अवेयरनेस, देयर वर सम मैच द फॉलोइंग एंड देयर वर सम एमसीक्यूज। ठीक है। So now, how does shortlisting take place? So it is not a standalone thing. Standalone in the sense कि सिर्फ माई कैट दे दिया उसके बेसिस पे क्लियर हो जाएगा. इट टेक्स अदर एग्जाम्स ऑल्सो, राइट? कैट और जैट. Okay, so now then you have psychometric test as a qualifier. So if you do not qualify the psychometric test, no matter how much you score, okay, and that is not going to help you. So first you need to clear this psychometric test. Then if you clear the psychometric test, you will be given some cutoff based on CAT, SAT or DMAT, which is not known, right? This is a minimum cutoff, which is people think that it is around 80 percentile. Okay, exact kitni hoti hai? Nobody knows, right? Now, then those who qualify based on the CAT, SAT or GMAT performance, their section B of MICAT will be assessed. So, if you have uh, that section B, which is the what do you say, descriptive test, and then if you qualify that also, then section C is evaluated. So there are four. You will be there is some minimum cutoff in normalized scores of section C in MyCat. So they mentioned that there is normalized score. So hopefully they should normalize the scores. Okay. Uh, you perceived image as a rack. Yes, I also initially thought ki newspaper ho sakta hai. Like it is like whatever you perceive. You may perceive it as a newspaper, you may perceive it as a mat or whatever. That is fine. Okay, I also perceived initially that it might be a newspaper. So you have some normalization in this, and then composite score of 50% weight to CAT, ZAT, GMAT, and 50% MyCat scores. So if you have very good score in CAT or ZAT or GMAT, then maybe average MyCat score would do. And if your CAT ZAT score is low, you will have to score high on MyCat to get the call. Right? So this is for getting the call. And result आता है सीधे उस पे आपको पता चल जाता है आपका कॉल आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. Now, final merit list also had CAT, ZAT, GMAT 20% weight, MyCat 30% weight, and 50% of these two things. Right. So if you've got a call, then again you need to do well on GEPI also. Okay, sectional होती है, कितनी होती है sectional? No one knows. ठीक है, it is just a perception that you should not have any negative score. ठीक है, so and that's how it goes. ये तो कितनी कट ऑफ होती है दैट नोबडी नो. सीधा जो स्कोर कार्ड आता है, दे डू नॉट डिले इन रिलीजिंग द स्कोर कार्ड्स. विद इन अ फ्यू डेज द स्कोर कार्ड्स वुड बी रिलीज. They do not display the question paper response sheet sort of thing. They will directly give you the they'll directly give you the result. ठीक है. See, you can perceive that image as anything. ठीक है, seismic recordings. Okay, you perceive that as a hanger. See, it is up to a person how to perceive it. Okay. All right, so now let's look at the good score based on this MyCat paper. I would say if you have 95 percentile in CAT or ZAT, a score of 8 to 9 should help you clear the cutoff. क्योंकि last year I found that ये last year वाले से मिलता जुलता था. If you get like 8 to 10, you can get a call for interview. Although conversion would be less. Okay. But this is I believe कि सफिशिएंट रहेगा. एंड 80 प्लस परसेंटाइल में 12 प्लस स्कोर आपको कट ऑफ क्लियर करा देगा. ठीक है, बहुत ज्यादा कट ऑफ नहीं जाती है, क्योंकि अभी आप कई लोग देखे होंगे आपने 20 अटेम्प्ट्स कर पाए, 25 अटेम्प्ट कर पाए. हाउ मेनी इफ यू अटेम्प्टेड 30 प्लस जेन्युइन अटेम्प्ट्स? एनीवन विद 30 प्लस जेन्युइन अटेम्प्ट्स? ऐसा नहीं कि फ्लूक, हाई एक्यूरेसी चांसेस, बिकॉज 30 प्लस तो बहुत हाई स्कोर हो जाएगा. इवन द टॉपर्स वुड बी स्कोरिंग समवेयर अराउंड 25. 25 से ऊपर अगर आपका स्कोर चला था, यू मस्ट बी अमंग द टॉपर्स. ठीक है, नॉट इजी टू स्कोर. ठीक है, माइकेट वन का थोड़ा ज्यादा आएगा इफ दे नॉर्मलाइज. आई टोल्ड यू दैट many people got. MyCat 1 was easy this time. Okay, since I have written MyCat 1, MyCat 2 last year also. I remember MyCat 1 had very easy this divergent and convergent. Now you had to have uh, okay, 30 genuine attempts. So if your accuracy is good, then you stand a very good chance of conversion also. 30 attempts. हाँ, so 30 genuine attempts is a very decent number. Okay, cutoff is like जो last जिसको next stage के लिए shortlist करते हैं based on your CAT ZAT score also उसका weight मान के. ठीक है, majority and convergent and verbal. Okay, so if you attempted 33 genuine, that's great. Accuracy अगर 80% भी मान के चलो तो you would get a very good score. ओके, सो जनरली इसमें वही होता है कि 10 से 20 की लाइन में लोगों का स्कोर आएगा, 20 प्लस वुड बी लेस. माइकैट 1 वाज इजी. लाइक इफ यू हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अटेम्प्टेड माइकैट 1 and 2 and found this one difficult? I found difficult, maybe I might be wrong, but uh, because of that divergent convergent thing. Zero, I told you that you should attempt at least some questions. It was not that you could not have attempt any question in QA. At least you could have tried some of the questions. Okay. So let's say that these are just mere predictions based on the past data. लास्ट ईयर भी लोगों को 6 नंबर पे भी कॉल आ गया था. लास्ट ईयर का पेपर और भी डिफिकल्ट था, तो कुछ कुछ ऐसे लोग भी थे 6-7 नंबर पे भी कॉल आया था. तो 8 is slightly on the higher side if you have very good CAT or ZAT score. Even if you have decent, like around 12 might be sufficient to clear the cutoff. Cutoff is like clearing the cutoff. Then you have to do exceptionally well on PI also. So अगर आपका 15 प्लस आ रहा है, then it is good, safe score रहेगा easily. Okay. 2 मंथ्स बाद वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. 2 मंथ्स टाइम ज्यादा मिला कम मिला, राइट? पीपल प्रिपेयर. वो तो एग्जाम है ना, सो दे कंपेयर विद पेपर 1 and paper 2. So they do normalization. They mentioned on their website that there will be normalization. Okay, all right, so let's see the memory based questions. So there were most the questions were match the following, like logos of these companies one had to watch. If you knew the logos, आप नेट पे चेक कर सकते हो कि आपने सही मैच लगाया कि नहीं. Then there was CEO based question which I found that it was doable. Easy question था because शांतनु नारायण का काफी लोगों को पता होगा and लीला नायर. So these two people, even if you knew, you could have matched the one. So do let me know that how many of you were able to do. And there was one question on acquisition. Okay, so Time Warner by AT&T. Okay, so this was on so merger acquisition. Usually they ask a question and they ask media based questions, right? Then there was a question which was on India Today की कौन सी companies हैं, like कौन से channel है. One is आज तक, one is Good News Today. I was reading about it. I just checked that it is by this India Today only. Okay, then this was something which people must have studied. ठीक है, so Operation Ganga was for that Ukraine during that Ukraine rescue operation. अगर आपने लास्ट ईयर थोड़ा जीके देखी होगी ये सबको, तो यू मस्ट हैव got it. Then there was brand ambassador. I don't know how many of you. So it was again match the following. So these are the answers. Okay. And then there was tagline based question. This was easy. Again, I think many people must have attempted this, and probably this. So तीन चार क्वेश्चन तो करने लायक थे out of these. Then there was a question on IPL rights. Okay, IPL rights are with Geo and Star Sports. Now the question, the company Star Sports was not given in the options. So I would say like Disney, right? Disney is the parent company. So probably they might consider Geo and Disney as the answer. Okay, it is with Geo and Star Sports. So two companies have the broadcasting rights. And then there was one G20 based questions. Uh, I think one was New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand is not a part of G20. Then आई डोंट रिकॉल कि लास्ट वाला G20 होगा या G21 होगा, आई एम नॉट श्योर. अफ्रीकन यूनियन वाज एडेड, but not sure that whether the name will be G21. Okay, and Viacom 18. आईपीएल की तो जियो ने लिए ना लास्ट ईयर. आई डिड नॉट चेक द आंसर. ठीक है, वायाकॉम 18 हो सकता है मे बी. लाइक आई मार्क जियो एंड वॉल्ट डिज्नी बिकॉज ऑफ जियो. आई रिमेम्बर they had the broadcasting, they did the broadcasting of IPL 2023, so probably I mark that. Okay, then there was another true false based statement. Okay, star दिया था. Okay, maybe I got it wrong, so this is not the right answer then. Okay. New Zealand agriculture G21. Okay, one was New Zealand. Okay, so these must be the answers. Now, talking about the aptitude section, let's discuss some of the answers. Then there was one question on Venn diagram, okay, which said that I don't know, watching videos. One was books, videos, and third was games. Okay, so the answer was 10% to it. कुछ ऐसा बन रहा था 9, 18, 9, 18, and this total was 45. Right? So you 45 बन गया. 45, 10% ये था आंसर. How many of you attempted this? 10%. Okay, so this was probably easy one. Then another four set Venn diagram जो था, four set. Did anyone solve that four sets Venn diagram? जो फोर सेट वाला आया था जिसमें ATRS, I don't know what was that, liking for four things. So I guess I got 1570 as the answer. I did not check that answer again, but I got 1570. Maybe that might be right or wrong, or that I do not know. Then there was one question on this triangle. It said that the sides are root 2. The longest side is root 3. So this would be root 2, this would be 1. And you draw a perpendicular. You have to find the area of this triangle. Okay. Now, if you look at this triangle, this triangle, the shaded one and the bigger triangle are similar in nature. Okay, area of the bigger triangle is half root 2. Okay, and area of smaller triangle this triangle would be this corresponding side is root 2, so corresponding side ka square hota hai. This was an easy question provided you know the similarity of triangle, so the answer would be root 2 upon 3. रूट 2/3 आया. डिड एनीवन अटेम्प्ट दिस ट्रायंगल क्वेश्चन? लाइक अगर किसी ने कैट के लिए ज्योमेट्री की होगी, डेफिनेटली मस्ट हैव कवर्ड दिस चैप्टर एंड शुड हैव बीन एबल टू अटेम्प्ट इट. कोऑर्डिनेट वाले का आई मार्क्ड 50, √50/6. रूट किया, गिवन था, रूट वाज गिवन इन द ऑप्शंस, सो द आंसर इज √2/3. कोऑर्डिनेट का आई मार्क √50/6. ठीक है, ये मुझे पता था रूट में आंसर आएगा. ठीक है, आई did some guesswork and I marked √50/6. I don't know if that is correct or not. हाँ, so √3 and 1 तो ये side length है, that is correct. Okay, then there was a rectangle was given with sides 35 and 15 क्योंकि उसका एरिया दिया हुआ था, and it said that another rectangle is formed like this and another rectangle is formed like this, right? So इसका perimeter पूछा था, so its perimeter is half of the outside rectangle, So the answer would be 50. See, my geometry is good. Okay, so I try to attempt a few questions of geometry. ठीक है तो ज्योमेट्री मतलब ये होता है कि कॉन्फिडेंस रहता है हाँ बन जाएगा टाइप्स एंड यू नो सम टेक्निक्स तुक्के भिड़ाना एंड ऑल that are more doable in geometry. Arithmetic requires calculation. So this was 50. If someone attempted this question, the answer would be 50. This was I found easy. ठीक है ये दो आसान थे. If your geometry is good, you could have done these two questions. I don't know if anyone attempted these when ये तो सभी ने किया होगा I guess. ठीक है एक क्वेश्चन अगर बना लिया तो good. Then there was one question on ABC, like B की value given, they were given as X and Y, and it was given that A is अंडर रूट ऑफ लाइक ज्योमेट्रिक मीन ऑफ एक्स वाई. इसका आंसर आ रहा था रूट एम स्क्वायर माइनस डी स्क्वायर बाय 4. इट वाज अ वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. इट वाज अ वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. इफ समवन रेड दिस क्वेश्चन, लोगों ने पढ़ा नहीं होगा यूजुअली. इफ समवन अटेम्प्टेड इट, प्लीज कंफर्म दैट वेदर दिस वाज द आंसर. देन देयर वाज अ टीएसडी क्वेश्चन. आई अटेम्प्टेड इट राइट. हाँ जीपी वाले का 510 था. देयर वाज अनदर क्वेश्चन ऑन जीपी which said that 10th term is 32 and 20th term equal to 1024, right? So you had to find t1 square plus t2 square plus t3 square and so on till 8th term ka whole square. Okay, so 10th term 32, 20th term 1024. So you get that the gp is 2 2 2 root 2 4 4 root 2 ऐसे gp बन रहा था. ठीक है इसको स्क्वायर कर देंगे तो स्क्वायर विल बी 2 प्लस 4 प्लस 8 प्लस 16 510. How many of you got 510? Like see it was, I found कि पेपर डिफिकल्ट था नो डाउट. ठीक है क्वांट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. बट द थिंग इज इट वाज अबाउट चूजिंग योर सेक्शंस. अगर आपको एपीजीपी आता है तो आपने ये दो क्वेश्चन पक्का कर लिए होंगे. ठीक है एपीजीपी अगर आपने अच्छे से पढ़ा है. ठीक है अगर आपने सपोज सेट थियरी पढ़ी है तो मे बी आपने वेन डायग्राम कर लिया होगा. ज्योमेट्री अच्छे से कवर की है. यू कुड हैव अटेम्प्टेड द कपल ऑफ 2-3 क्वेश्चंस व्हिच वर बेस्ड ऑन ज्योमेट्री. लाइक एज आई सेड कि वो एक रेक्टेंगल के अंदर रेक्टेंगल इजी था. ठीक है अगर जिसको ज्योमेट्री जिसने करी होगी ज्योमेट्री उसको आता होगा कि हाँ वो उसका हाफ हो जाएगा. ठीक है सो और बहुत इजी था. 525 दिया था 7:3 में दिया था. ठीक है समथिंग वाज एरिया वाज गिवन एज 525 7:3. सो 35 and 15 वर द sides. Then you had I did not attempt much of arithmetic in it except one question on that FD, some AR and mutual funds. Okay, इसमें कुछ दिया था ये इतना परसेंट मोर है. इसका आंसर 6 lakhs था. Okay, ये मैंने एक अटेम्प्ट किया. There was one on mixture also. Another question was student museum. I did not attempt. So if you recall the answers, if someone attempted, प्लीज कंफर्म द आंसर्स. इफ एनी वन ऑफ यू अटेम्प्टेड. लगता है ज्योमेट्री अलजेब्रा कोई नहीं करके आता है. So one of the answers was 10%, one was 1570, another was root 2 by 350. ये not sure, but I marked this as the answer because of some guesses. Okay, then one of the answers was this. This is definitely correct. ये पक्का सही है. ये 6 lakhs सही ही होगा most likely. 6 lakh बहुत लोग comment भी कर रहे थे वीडियो में. Was the answer 6 lakhs? 6 lakhs ही था ना इसका आंसर, or was it something else? Then I tried attempting one question which I realized that unnecessarily I should not have been attempting that question. ठीक है एक कुछ ऐसे सर्कल वाला था. आई फाउंड दैट क्वेश्चन इंटरेस्टिंग बट लेटर ऑन आई आई रिग्रेट दैट आई शुड हैव लेफ्ट इट इन द बिगनिंग इटसेल्फ. ऐसे कुछ दिया था. आई फाउंड दैट क्वेश्चन इंटरेस्टिंग कि सर्कल का रेशियो स्क्वायर का रेशियो rectangular ratio was 10:14. Maybe I'll solve it later. It said the length is 10 and some cost was given, right? So it was like worth leaving. I later realized. So I spent some time. There was some question on एक क्वेश्चन था कुछ मिक्सचर वाला भी, जिसमें कुछ ए और बी, आई फाउंड दैट क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग. Did anyone attempt that mixture question which said that A and B? मुझे कुछ लगा, then I left it. A, it said it has 900 ml, it has 1000 ml, and the percentage was 80 and it was not given. ठीक है. Then it said that 50 ml यहाँ से यहाँ ट्रांसफर होगा, and then 50 ml यहाँ से यहाँ होगा. Then it said B में अगर 42.281%. I did not read it completely. मुझे कुछ तो गड़बड़ लगा. Then I left it, right? फिर A का पूछा हुआ था. So और A के options कम दिए थे, and A was 80%, something was given. So I could not maybe interpret the question, but then I realized that it is better to skip that question. But the question was something like this. I did not recall correctly कि ऐसा ही था, क्या था कि 50 ml एक से दूसरे में ट्रांसफर किया, ठीक है, 50 ml, और यहाँ 50 ml यहाँ से यहाँ ट्रांसफर किया. देन इट वाज गिवन कि बी का परसेंटेज इतना है तो ए का कितना होगा. कुछ कुछ तो गड़बड़ लगी, देन आई स्किप्ड इट बिकॉज आई रियलाइज कि इसमें टाइम लगेगा फिगर आउट करने में क्या सही है. कुछ या तो नेमिंग में गलत थी. हाँ, ऑप्शंस वर क्लोज इन दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट या. अच्छा, डीआई में एक का आंसर था 1:8. ठीक है, आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट दैट एक्स वाई जेड क्वेश्चन. इफ सम ऑफ यू हैव अटेम्प्टेड, प्लीज कमेंट द आंसर. एक्स वाई जेड वाला क्या था? आई लेटर हर्ड फ्रॉम पीपल दैट एक्स वाई जेड वाला क्वेश्चन इजी था. व्हाट वाज एक्स वाई जेड? एवरेज प्राइस एंड म्यूजियम वाला नहीं किया. एवरेज प्राइस एंड म्यूजियम का एक क्वेश्चन था. I did not attempt these questions. So if someone remembers the answers, please do let us know so that थोड़ा confirmation आ जाए. अच्छा, एक TSD का क्वेश्चन था which I attempted. TSD का क्वेश्चन आ रहा था, उसका 211 point something आ रहा था. If anyone happened to attempt it, 211.4 या 11.7 something was the answer. Average speed. Okay, so DI, one of the answers was 1:8, one some 70% के आसपास कोई वैल्यू आ रही थी, 68% और समथिंग. इजंट इट? एक 60 जिसमें रेशियो दिया हुआ था 68% थी या कितनी थी, लाइक 70 के आसपास आ रही थी, इजंट इट? एक तो 1:8 था जिसमें रेशियो ऑफ इनकम पूछी थी, था कि नहीं था? कंफर्म करो. जिसमें दिया था 2:5 दिया था कि टोटल ऑफ सम पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर है. वो वाला शीट मैंने सबमिट कर दी तो मेरे पास नहीं है, बट मुझे आंसर याद है 1:8 था कि नहीं? 1:8. हाँ, 67 या 68 ऐसे कुछ था. इजंट इट? ऐसे 68, 67, 68 के आसपास आ रहा था, अराउंड 70. ठीक है. वन ऑफ द आंसर्स, आई अटेम्प्टेड 2 क्वेश्चंस इन डीआई. वन वाज 1:8. प्लीज कंफर्म इट, द आंसर वाज 1:8 and other was. सो अभिषेक यू आर सेइंग कि 67%, 60 में कुछ था. हाँ, तो ये शायद 67, 68 था रफली इतना. वन वाज 1:8. एक एक्स वाई जेड वाला क्वेश्चन था विच आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट. But later on, I heard from some people because many people had attempted that question. Probably was easy. Then एक कुछ था कि वो 50 लाख सेव करते हैं और फिर वो उनका टारगेट कुछ होता है. दैट वाज, आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट, तो समझ गया था बहुत वियर्ड सा क्वेश्चन है. प्लस आई डिड नॉट फाइंड इनफ डेटा फॉर इट बिकॉज इट वाज गिवन कि टोटल सेविंग 50 lakhs है, राइट? हाउ मच डज द हस्बैंड सेव, लाइक रेशियो वाज नॉट गिवन, सो वी कैन नॉट टेल दैट how much is contribution of the, like total income was 50 lakh, some ratio was not given. Okay, so 68 था 5:8 वाला. 5:8 वाला, हाँ, 5:8 जिसमें दिया था, it was I guess 67, 68. Okay, that was easy. XYZ was easy. I did not attempt it. Maybe I just spent time on some other questions and later realized कि should have tried it. Okay, and there was one question on profit loss also. एक प्रॉफिट लॉस वाला था जिसमें कुछ शर्ट्स करके था और अलग अलग 6 पर्सन को शर्ट्स देता. आई रेड द क्वेश्चन, डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट इट. I don't know what is the answer. If anyone happen to attempt any of these questions, please confirm the answer. TST का 211, उसमें आपको एक सीरीज बन रही थी 200, 201, 202 like this. Okay, and then there was this profit loss on shirts that I did not attempt. I did see the text though. I saw कि क्या दिया था उसमें, person like next person he sells two less than what he sold to the previous one or something like that. Okay, so this is how they had a question. All right, so anyway, this was the basic structure of the examination. Now let's see some more. So if you have happened to score like 4 5, that is good enough. Okay, overall लास्ट में जीरो था शर्ट वाले का. आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट, मतलब उसमें ऐसे ही कुछ दिया था कि लाइक ही सेल्स एट सर्टेन नंबर एंड सेल्स टू मोर देन ही सोल्ड टू द प्रीवियस वन, ऐसे सिक्स को दिया हुआ था. ओके, सो आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट दैट क्वेश्चन but just read it कि how what was the question exactly. Now coming to the this divergent and convergent thinking, एक syllogism का आंसर आ रहा था either one or two. Isn't it? Either one or two आ रहा था, जिसमें आ रहा था कि सम एंड नॉट वाला केस बना था. सम एस आर एच एक केस में बना था, सम एस आर एच, सम एस आर नॉट एच, ऐसे करके कुछ था. ठीक है, डाइवर्जेंट एक सिलोजिज्म इधर वन और टू था. एक आई डिड नॉट नो हाउ टू अटेम्प्ट दिस, आई कुड नॉट. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई फाउंड दिस कि क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी लगे. आई नोट द क्वेश्चन हियर. हाउ इज Delhi कोडेड इन दैट लैंग्वेज? आई डिड स्पेंड सम टाइम, कुछ मेरे को लॉजिक समझ में नहीं आया. देन एक either one or two odd number, odd one wala was not divisible by 7. That I don't know. There was one floor based question. ठीक है, फ्लोर वाला आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट. एक और लीनियर था शायद. एक ब्लड रिलेशन का था जिसमें मैटरनल ग्रैंडमदर वाला पूछा था. वो इजी था, लाइक कोडेड वाला था मैटरनल ग्रैंडमदर. ये इजी क्वेश्चन था. Then there was another question which was like this I attempted. WEU. ये मुझे एक सही लगा. इसमें मेरा आया ZIZ because it is -3, -4 and -5. So it will be SGD. नहीं, ये तो कुछ और हो गया. और सॉरी, SDG. इसमें -4 and -5. सो ये एक डुएबल था, ये डुएबल था. Then another one was डेटा सफिशिएंसी आया था कि इनइक्वालिटी में जो था उसमें ओनली 1 and 3 और 1 2 and 4 ऐसे कुछ था. मतलब ये था इधर 1 and 3 और जो इनइक्वालिटी वाला था जिसमें C और G इनइक्वालिटी था ना. ठीक, remember it? Did anyone attempt it? So if you are comfortable with that inequality topic, you could have done it. Direction sense 150. I did not attempt it. I found that it doable था. I did not have time to attempt it. So of course सारे तो कौन अटेम्प्ट करता है. ठीक है. देन देयर वाज वन क्वेश्चन व्हिच द आंसर वाज सिस्टर्स सन. एक ब्लड रिलेशन का क्वेश्चन था, उसका आंसर आ रहा था सिस्टर्स सन. ओके, और ये जो ये डाइस वाला था. So if anyone happened to attempt it, the answer was this one, RQE. क्या डायरेक्शंस आई डोंट नो टू 150 था या लाइक हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू से 150 वाज द आंसर टू डायरेक्शंस. डायरेक्शंस आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट जिसमें वो था 300 मीटर है. आई आई न्यू दैट इट वाज डूएबल वन. Would have taken some effort, but people would have got that one right. Okay, so that was one of the questions. Uh, then there was word association, right? I answered one of the questions as motor. ठीक है जिसमें मोटर बोट मोटर रेल समथिंग लाइक दैट. आई डोंट नो इफ दैट वाज करेक्ट. Approx number of applications. See that we do not know. Then there was one another coding decoding based question. ठीक है विच वॉज लाइक ट्रेन. अगेन इसमें भी मुझे लॉजिक समझ में नहीं आया. UNJBX. अगर किसी को लॉजिक समझ में आया तो कमेंट में बता देना कैसा लॉजिक होना चाहिए था. या फेथ. इसमें वर्ड आई हैव नॉट रिटन विच वर्ड दे आस्क्ड फॉर. But this was because I tried figuring out some logic, could not make any sense of this. ठीक है. वन वॉज हेड. हाँ एक था हार्ड था हार्ड वर्क. ठीक है हार्ड ड्रिंक हार्ड लुक्स एंड ब्लो हार्ड. हाँ एक हार्ड था. एक वर्ड एसोसिएशन में एक तो हार्ड था आंसर दैट इज फॉर श्योर वो हार्ड ही होगा. वर्ड एसोसिएशन आई ट्राइड ऑल थ्री. दो मैंने अटेम्प्ट किए. एक हार्ड करके आया एक में मैं मोटर करके आया. नॉट श्योर कि वाटर इसमें ये था हार्ड वाला. इसमें आपका ड्रिंक इसके साथ एसोसिएट होता है. यू ब्लो हार्ड. ओके. देन यू हैड हार्ड वर्क. एंड एक और कोई था. तीन चार वर्ड्स थे ऑफकोर्स उसका. ओके सो डिड यू अटेम्प्ट दिस लाइक हार्ड. ये करके आए थे हार्ड. मोटर नहीं किया दैट आई डोंट नो. वन वाज हेड. हाँ वो जो कुछ हैमर और वो सब था ना. ईयर हैमर पियर्सिंग. आई I was getting confused कि ईयर होगा so I did not attempt it. It was tricky. मतलब ऐसा होता है कि तीन मैच कर रहा था चौथा. It is not easy. It looks easy. It is not. Okay, so those were the answers to the questions. There was another series-based question in which I marked ऐसे कुछ था जिसमें odd one निकालना था. 114600 ये मैंने मार्क किया है. Not sure whether it is right or wrong. जिसमें एक था कि like wrong term in the series. Okay, so some questions were confusing, and there was one more in which you had two columns match the following. Okay, one column has same logic. One word on the column has same logic on the other. Something like that was given. हैमर हेड होता है. हाँ हैमर का हेड होता है. तो दैट आई एम नॉट श्योर कि व्हाट आई डिड नॉट अटेम्प्ट दैट. क्योंकि उसमें पियर्सिंग था. हेड में पियर्सिंग कैसे होगी. ठीक है सो मुझे थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग डाउटफुल लगा कि हैमर का हेड सही लग रहा था. ईयर में पियर्सिंग फिट कर रही थी. ठीक है वही वाज नॉट गेटिंग इट. व्हाट वुड बी द राइट आंसर. सो एनीवे मतलब वो ना रिस्पॉन्स शीट देते हैं सीधे स्कोर आता है. एंड आई फाइंड दैट द स्कोर्स आर रीजन. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ गड़बड़ कोई डिस्क्रिपेंसी होगी. द प्रोसेस इज फेयर. जस्ट द थिंग इज लाइक इट्स अ डिफिकल्ट पेपर. ठीक है अगर कोई ये सोच के जा रहा है कि नहीं मैं 2025 ही अटेम्प्ट कर पाया कि मेरा होगा कि नहीं होगा. इट्स इनफ थिंग. ओके सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट कि आप कितना अटेम्प्ट करके आए हो. लाइक अगर आपने 25 प्लस जनरली अटेम्प्ट किया कट ऑफ क्लियर हो जाएगी. ठीक है सो नॉट टू वरी अबाउट दिस कि आपका इतना कम स्कोर बना है. एंड इट इज दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ पेपर. ठीक है तो लास्ट ईयर भी ऐसी हुआ था. लास्ट ईयर लोग सोच रहे थे कितने में जो कट ऑफ क्लियर होगी. सो अगर आपका लेट्स से 10 मार्क्स से ऊपर बन रहा है, दैट इज गुड इनफ. 11460. I did not know why I marked 114, because कुछ तो ऐसे बन रहा था, like some series was like this, कुछ 728 140 ऐसे करके कुछ बन रहा था, into 4 into 5. Okay, then it was like 980 into 7. तो I did not divide दो, ये मुझे आ रहा था. उसके बाद वो 882 से 1146 कोई रिलेशन नहीं रख रहा था मुझे. It was not divisible by this number. Okay, ऐसे divisibility नहीं दिख रही थी, तो I mark that. Okay, so that is किसी, हाँ, नॉर्मलाइजेशन होता है इसमें. ये कहते हैं कि दे स्कोर नॉर्मलाइज द स्कोर ऑफ पार्ट सी. ठीक है, तो अच्छा, नॉट डिविजिबल बाय 7. ओके, सो नॉट डिविजिबल बाय 7 would be the reason why it is odd one out. So I don't know what was the answer. I marked this as the answer. देखो, कई कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो आप गेस भी करते हो, एंड करने भी चाहिए. ठीक है, जनरली आप हर कुछ अटेम्प्ट नहीं कर सकते. सो यू हैव टू टेक सम गेस, एंड एट टाइम्स यू लीव, सी अ क्वेश्चन एंड लीव इट. सो इट्स लाइक कि हर कुछ आप अटेम्प्ट भी नहीं कर सकते, कुछ क्वेश्चन आप पढ़ के छोड़ देखते हो. Yeah, so that's how I also attempt. Like some questions I read and then decide, okay, it's not worth attempting and leave it. दो राइट दो रॉन्ग काफी है. लाइक क्वांट में सी, नेगेटिव नहीं जाने चाहिए. एक नंबर भी बन रहा है, हाफ नंबर भी, इसमें ऐसी स्कोर आता है. डोंट वरी, ऐसा नहीं कि आपको ऐसा लगे कि आपके एक सेक्शन में पूरे 10 मार्क्स आ जाएंगे. कुछ 10 में भी, लाइक इवन द टॉपर, see, everyone attempts to maximize their score, right? So even the toppers don't reach that high score. हो सकता है किसी एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन में बहुत हाई आ जाए. So overall, normalize who can see, scorecard will be exact, scorecard will not be normalized. ठीक है, स्कोर कार्ड में एग्जैक्ट आता है. हाउ दे नॉर्मलाइज एवरीथिंग इज लाइक विच इज नॉट नोन. लाइक नॉर्मलाइजेशन कैसे होता है, राइट, कैट की कट ऑफ कितनी होती है, जैट की कट ऑफ कितनी होती है, दैट इज नॉट नोन. सो स्कोर कार्ड, इफ यू आर गेटिंग लाइक एटलीस्ट 8 इन एप्टीट्यूड ओवरऑल, ठीक है, दैट शुड बी गुड इनफ फॉर कट ऑफ क्लियरिंग. आई वुड से कि 8 10 दोगे तो 10 में तो आराम से हो जाएगी, राइट. एंड 80 प्लस परसेंटाइल है आपकी कैट जैट में, तो अराउंड 12 you might need to clear the cutoffs. Okay, conversion तो फिर different thing. Like cutoff is like they call you कि okay, you are eligible for interview. Then you have to perform well on the interview also. So that's how the cutoffs are going to be. Last year the cutoffs were around 6 7. ठीक है, इस टाइम थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट था, नहीं थोड़ा इजी था माइकैट 23 वाले से. So I believe कि थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट होगा. MICAT 1 was on easier side as compared to MICAT 2. So they will do the normalization bit, so don't worry about it. Okay. Uh, 19 in MICAT 1 with quant 0, will that be an issue? See, uh, negative has been an issue in the past. Okay, positives do not. So just wait for the scorecard and the subsequent cutoffs, and then you will be able to get to know. So you're done with the exam. Don't take tension about कि कैसा क्या. देखो, कोई भी एग्जाम होता है, जाता है. these predictions, these are mere predictions, right? कट ऑफ जो भी होते हैं किसी भी एग्जाम में आपने देखी होगी, जैट में कोई कुछ बोलता है, कोई कुछ बोलता है. कट ऑफ जो आनी होती है वो आपको सरप्राइजिंग लगती है, isn't it? स्नैप में लगा कि बहुत ज्यादा आ गई, मतलब इस बार कट ऑफ बहुत ज्यादा चली गई. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ वरिंग अबाउट दैट एंड लाइक कंसंट्रेटिंग ऑन मल्टीपल रिसोर्सेज की कितनी कट ऑफ जाएगी, ये सब जाएगी, just chill, right? If you've done really well, 15 plus अगर स्कोर किया है, so be ready for the next stage. You are very likely to be shortlisted. I can understand that there is anxiety among aspirants, but this is one exam wherein the process starts very fast. कुछ ही दिन में आपका रिजल्ट भी आ जाएगा. I think 10th Feb के आसपास, 10-15 के आसपास रिजल्ट भी आ जाएगा. You'll get to know that how you have fared in the examination. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video, and do let me know that how many you attempted. और जो कोडिंग डिकोडिंग था, अगर किसी को गेस आ जाए, एक बार फिर से लिख देता हूँ, ये लॉजिक किसी को समझ में आ जाए तो मुझे भी समझा देना कमेंट्स में. टोक्यो इज इक्वल टू यू यू. Anyway, I will also try it later. I tried for some time in the examination hall. ठीक है, एक ये है, और एक दूसरा जो था लॉजिक वो ये था कि ट्रेन इज, I spent time in these two questions and then I realized कि it is not worth attempting it. Last time the questions were very easy as compared to this time the coding ones, and I don't recall the word that was given to us. Yeah, so it was a different examination. So how did you find the examination? Those who appeared on MICAT for the very first time, how did you find the examination? Was it different, challenging? Did you like the examination? Just do let me know in the comments. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day. Goodbye.